History is written by the victors, they say. But what about the stories that slip through the cracks? The tales that are too strange, too inconvenient, or simply too unbelievable to make it into our textbooks? Today, we're digging deep into the archives to unearth 7 astonishing stories that history tried to forget. Get ready, because you're about to question everything you thought you knew about the past. First up, let's travel to the 16th century to meet the Green Children of Woolpit. Imagine this. 2 children, a boy and a girl, suddenly appear in a village in England. They speak an unknown language, wear clothes of an unfamiliar material, and their skin is a distinct shade of green. They would only eat raw broad beans. The boy, sadly, passed away shortly after their arrival, but the girl eventually learned English, lost her green pallor, and was baptized. She claimed they came from a subterranean world called St. Martin's Land, a place of perpetual twilight where everyone was green. Was this a folk tale, a misunderstanding of a medical condition, or something positively from another dimension? Historians are still stumped. Next, we uncover the mystery of the Tarrare, a French showman and soldier from the 18th century with an appetite that defied belief. This man could eat, and I mean eat. He wasn't just a big eater, his hunger was insatiable. He could devour a meal intended for 15 men in one sitting, swallow cats and dogs whole, and was even suspected of eating a toddler. Medical science at the time was baffled. Despite his extreme eating habits, he was of average size and weight. Was it a medical anomaly, a glandular disorder, or something else entirely? His case remains one of the most bizarre and disturbing in medical history. Let's fast forward to 1913, to the story of the Great Emu War in Australia. No, you didn't mishear me. After World War I, the Australian government gave land to ex-soldiers for farming, but they soon faced an unexpected enemy, a mob of 20,000 emus. These giant birds were trampling crops and causing chaos, so the military was called in, armed with machine guns. What ensued was a comical failure. The emus were too fast, too smart, and too resilient. They'd split into small groups, zigzagging to avoid gunfire. After weeks of fruitless battle and thousands of rounds fired, the military officially withdrew. The emus had won. It's a bizarre chapter in military history where birds defeated armed soldiers. Now, have you ever heard of the dancing plague of 1518? In Strasbourg, a woman named Frau Trophea stepped into the street and began to dance. She didn't stop. Within a week, 34 others had joined her, and within a month, there were 400 people dancing uncontrollably in the streets. They danced for days without rest, and many collapsed and died from exhaustion, heart attacks, and strokes. Authorities at the time were baffled, even encouraging the dancing by building a stage and hiring musicians, thinking it would burn itself out. Theories range from mass hysteria to ergot poisoning, but no one knows for sure what caused this deadly dance marathon. Our 5th story takes us to the ancient world, to the Antikythera mechanism. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of a Greek island in 1901, this device is often called the world's first analog computer. Dating back to the 2nd century BCE, this intricate collection of bronze gears and dials was far more advanced than anything else known from that era. For decades, scientists couldn't figure out its purpose. It's now understood to be an astronomical calculator, capable of predicting eclipses and the positions of celestial bodies with incredible accuracy. The level of engineering sophistication wasn't seen again for over 1,000 years. It makes you wonder what other ancient technologies have been lost to the depths of the sea. Next, we look at the incredible life of Julie d'Aubigny, a 17th century bisexual opera singer and swordswoman. This woman's life was more a soundtrack than any movie. She was a master fencer who fought and won duels, often disguised as a man. In one famous incident, she fell in love with a novice at a convent. To rescue her, Julie set the convent on fire, stole her lover, and they escaped. She was sentenced to death in absentia, but was later pardoned by the King of France himself, who was a fan of her opera performances. She was a duelist, a performer, and a rebel who lived life bizarre on her own terms, smashing every societal norm of her time. Our final story is the War of the Stray Dog. In 1925, tensions were high between Greece and Bulgaria. What sparked an international incident? A Greek soldier's dog ran across the border. When the soldier ran after it, he was shot by a Bulgarian sentry. This single event escalated rapidly. Greece invaded Bulgaria, demanding punishment and compensation. The conflict caused dozens of casualties before the League of Nations stepped in to mediate and stop a full-blown war. It's a stark reminder of how easily a small, almost absurd incident can spiral into international conflict when tensions are already simmering. From green children and insatiable appetites to dancing plagues and emu armies, history is filled with tales stranger than any fiction. These are the stories that got misplaced, overlooked, or deliberately buried. They remind us that the past is a vast, mysterious place, and there are always more secrets waiting to be uncovered. Which of these stories astonished you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the forgotten corners of history. If you enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the mysteries of our world. Ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay curious.